fuck is up, everybody? Welcome back to DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex. 49 episodes in. It's crazy that I've been able to go 49 episodes and people like, I still want to watch this fucking asshole interview bands. And it took long enough, but I finally brought on one of the bands I've always wanted to bring on the podcast ever since I started. These are the motherfuckers in Cesspool of Corruption.
Yeah.
And Skylar is over there too.
He does merch and helps all our gear moving, so.
Yeah. Alright guys, introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, please.
I guess I'll start. I'm Mike. I do bass and vocals.
Matt, guitar.
I'm Brennan. I play drums.
Alright, so guys, I think we need to get this out of the way now. We need to settle this question once and for all. Does Cesspool use only acoustic drumming? No.
I trigger everything, including my socks, my shoes, my shorts, my underwear, t-shirt. My hair is triggered. My whole body is actually a trigger. You can plug in anywhere and you'll get a kick drum sound.
I sexually identify as a trigger.
I am a trigger.
Well, there's your answer, creepy dork motherfucker.
Chevy Beer, do you use only acoustic drum notes and no trigger quantizing or sampling? Sound replacement?
Okay, so if anyone does know what we're talking about, and you should because this is fucking hilarious, there's this random dude who literally just messages random bands and will ask you...
Greetings.
Yeah.
Have any so-and-so band recordings been recorded with all acoustic drum notes, no trigger quantization or sound replacement? And if you respond no, then he will call you all sorts of names that you would not like to be called, and
He'll tell you to die.
Tell you to maybe threaten your life.
Like, it's crazy. It's like
I'm dying for triggers here.
It's like, how much of a snowflake do you have to be to be fucking triggered by that? Like, oh, triggered, see? Hey.
Man, the funny thing is this guy has no clue that there's such a following of people out there, including a Facebook page, that are just like totally roasting him all the time. He just is unaware.
That's hilarious.
He's very...
You think he would know by now.
Yeah, he's very self-absorbed, so...
That's fair.
Trying to become a porn star and whatnot, you know.
Oh, yeah.
What?
He hit Tel Aviv and asked if there's a heterosexual porn industry in Israel, because that's where he
He
lives.
was like, I'm very serious about getting a job in the porn industry for...
I would assume if there was an industry in Israel, it's all missionary. It's all missionary.
Pixelated.
They're not allowed.
Porn.
They're not allowed to shave. No, nothing. It's like fucking old kickback to the '70s shit.
Probably those angles too, where you just see like the dude's ass and balls, like
very close up.
No one wants to see that shit.
People sometimes like zoom in like very slowly with like that weird African whistle music or some shit.
Or they get under, they get like the underneath shot. I'm like, who the fuck thinks about that when they're wanting to like, you know? Yeah, no one thinks about it.
This is very unrelated.
Yeah.
It is. So, going, because as I said, I've always wanted to have you guys on the podcast ever since I started. I remember writing on a list of 10 bands, like, okay, I need to annoy the shit out of these 10 bands. And I never did because I was too scared because I was still kind of new with the scene at the time. So, I'm just going to wait it off a little bit and I'm just going to ask people if they want to come on. So that's kind of why first 25 episodes, you're just like, who wants to do it? But, when it comes to technical death metal, I really think that you and Asylum are like at the pinnacle. And if there's any
We're
others...
almost like the Dallas and the Fort Worth. We kind of rep each part of DFW in that regard. Like,
and you guys, Asylum is big in their own right, and I've had them on. But you guys are a absolute local staple. I remember the first time I ever saw you guys actually was at the DFW Metal Fest, the one in 2016 where you guys played at Reno's. I was very new to the scene at that time. That was actually the best, like the series of shows and bands I saw that actually got me wanting to do Skull Archer, like bring it back to life and everything. So I kind of like attribute like the humble beginnings to Nathan, who kind of brought me into the scene and told me about you guys. Like, you have to check.
Hey, that's our next show. We're playing his birthday bash.
Headlining
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, if you guys can make it to Nathan's birthday bash, Nathan has been a co-host on the podcast. He's a great friend of mine. He's
Supporter of actually both our bands. He supports Reviled as well, so.
Yeah, no, that dude is super passionate about the scene. It's just really cool to have the opportunity to do a show like that. I definitely will support that dude. I fucking love him to death. He was my roommate for a while too, really chill. So, fucking love him.
Good dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude.
Okay, we're gonna quit kissing your ass now, fuckface.
I'm still waiting for Blake to show up.
Oh, yeah, no problem. If he just wants to pop on in, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
We miss you.
He'll maybe slam
Wish you were here.
the camera though, like burst the door wide open. I'm here!
Start all over. Breaks the camera.
Well,
No one sees any of this.
phone time. But I remember being a really big fan. I also remember buying your EP, Eradication of Subservient, and God, it's like one of my favorite artworks ever.
Yeah, we like the artwork a lot, especially since it is black and white. It's so detailed despite, the lack of color. You can kind of picture like the shadows and, darkness and light, that contrast.
Well, the artist who did it's actually colorblind, so that's why it's black and white. He hand drew it. I mean, Blake came up with the idea. I don't exactly I wish he was here to explain.
He was thinking like FEMA camp, basically.
Kinda,
like
yeah.
an apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic.
With an
FEMA camp.
alien,
Meets
like an
Cthulhu,
alien
kinda.
Cthulhu creature.
Yeah,
It
that's
does
what-
resemble Alien a little
That's
bit.
what I
for
thought
that,
when I
like
looked
with
at it.
tentacles, an alien with tentacles. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I'm like, man, this is like Cthulhu and the Alien Mother, and then like a bunch of mind flayers just having a crazy orgy in just like one big ass space room, and then the Elder Brain comes in over the mind flayers and then like swallows them all and shakes. It freaks them out.
Well, what I love about it is like all the little people you can
Yeah, the
see
little
like, running
details I was
around.
about to say.
There's
Yeah.
like a dude in a
Tanks and-
hand, like you're like that dude's fucked. Like, I'm glad I'm not that guy.
And I mean,
But-
I mean, it's as technical as it can definitely get. Like, I listened to a lot of technical death metal bands before I got into the scene. I definitely prefer you guys over a bunch of fucking Astral touring death bands for sure.
Well, thanks.
I like, especially Humanoid in Form is probably like one of my favorite songs.
That's kind of the opus from the album, I think. Like besides Eradication,
Yeah.
title
Yeah.
track.
That song has been around. The two of us and Blake wrote that. We were like seniors in high school, so it was like 09.
Yeah, actually, I
probably.
do want to get into like
Right.
the history of such like the Holy Gangs. Like, where did y'all start? Like, when did this start?
I guess shit. The two of us, we've known Blake since we were in like 6th grade. So what was that, like 03? Sounds about right. I don't know. We started anyway,
It was a
like
long time ago, though.
year
They started
later.
playing guitar together as a group. though.
Yeah, it was like a year later. I guess we Blake got a guitar for Christmas, and me and Matt were interested, so we went and got guitars too, and all started playing together. And I kind of became the bass player by default, I guess.
Matt's got.
It was like,
I don't want to play bass.
No, not the two of those fuckers. They were like, Mike, you can play the bass. We're gonna play guitar.
We want more women.
They were like, you like playing with your thumb anyway. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But, yeah, so it probably about 6 months to a year after that, my dad bought me my first bass. That was like 05.
Oh, shit.
And we played together back then, in high school, just kind of jammed like Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Slayer.
Do the talent show.
Oh yeah, we played at the fucking freshman singer talent show, and we like annihilated every
Played
band.
Seek and Destroy the fuck out. Like,
Yeah, there's other bands play like these fucking. I won't say that word. I almost went there, but these dudes, we'll call them pussies, I guess.
Yeah.
They're playing their little acoustic songs like, "Oh girl, I love you, baby," a little like. It's like, then we get up there and we play Seek and Destroy, and it's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Posers!
So that was the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
It was the talent show.
Oh, there was one band there that was a total joke. There were a few bands.
Have you ever seen that fucking like
terrible.
grindcore band? It's like a family. It's like a mom, dad, and a
Yeah,
little kid.
yeah.
That's some cool actually.
That's
They-
pretty cool.
Yeah.
They put in a little talent show in there. All the other kids, the parents are like,
They're jealous, actually. That's what they are.
oh yeah, no, I would be too.
So,
That kid has better vocals than I do.
I guess back to the history though, I guess like I don't know, Blake moved away for a while in high school. He came back senior year. We wanted to start a band. And that's how, we've been playing for years by that point. And actually finally got into death metal, I think Death was like the first band all of us really like dug into. And
First.
At the time, I will say, we were actually like really huge fans of the Faceless at the time. Like that was a
pretty important band for us.
Duality was a staple.
Starting off, it was like our main influences were like Origin, the Faceless,
Nile, Behemoth.
Nile is a big one though.
Origin.
Nile,
Did you say Origin already?
Origin.
They came here from Morbid Angel.
But like Cesspool itself didn't actually start come into fruition until like 2012, 2013.
But we wrote Humanoid Inform though back then.
But that's when we actually started like composing songs together, and we had tried out a couple of different drummers. We actually had a guy that a different vocalist at first. Mike and Blake didn't originally do vocals, but that was only for like a couple practices, and then
didn't really
like I said,
we can do the vocals.
We tried out a couple of drummers. It didn't really work out, and then Mike found a post for Brennan on Craigslist, I think, right?
Yeah, I had. I guess I'll fill in that part of history. Like I was playing drums in the band Fenris, who's now Sworn to the Sword at the time, and had been getting into death metal more heavily through my friend Darian, who I happened to go to the same high school as, just at a different time. Like people that I was going to school with were like, "Dude, you should meet this guy Darian. He used to go here. He's a really badass guitarist." So we started jamming, and he wanted me to start learning death. It's kind of like, it all ties back to death for this band. And he wanted to do like a death cover band, so I learned a lot of the material, and I had YouTube covers up, like Scavenger of Human Sorrow and Symbolic and that kind of thing. The Philosopher was, I uploaded that one. But I'm the biggest on the human material. I just never covered any of it. Sean Reinert's a big influence. So after I had kind of done Fenris for a while, I was like, I have time and I really want to do like a death metal band, so I posted on Craigslist. I was like, hey, I'm a death metal drummer, looking to join a proper death metal band for the first time. Here are my influences, listed a lot of the same that they have. And Mike saw it and hit me up instantly, because I think I had seen the Cesspool of Corruption ads on Craigslist before and been like, like I wasn't too sure, especially like one of the ones Blake posted, because he was calling for like George Collius, like we need that kind of speed, and I was like, I am not that fast, I can't pull that off.
He was like, we need a very serious,
dedicated.
We need a sick drummer.
280.
Huge emphasis on the word sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Fast double bass, blast beats.
I was like, man, I'm not there with the kicks yet. Dude, I still beat up on my kicks, but anyway. So we started jamming around September 2014, because that was I think my beginning of my senior year of high school.
Yeah, he was only 17.
I was 17 at the time, and 21 now. Here we are 4 years later, almost.
So we're all old as shit now.
Yeah, we're really old.
You guys have like made a really proud name for yourselves. As I said, you are a staple in the scene. But one thing I think you guys do better than virtually every band in the scene is you have the best system of pre-selling. But for sure, by far. Like you
know who we learned it from? Richie from Dead Rising and I'm Destruction. That's like,
oh wow.
Yeah, all our tips we've gotten from him.
He's helped us out.
Yeah. Richie's a splendid person. I fucking love that.
Yeah, great fella.
He needs to come on the fucking podcast, though.
He's been one of our. He was like a supporter in the early days. Like,
before
Blake sent him like demo tracks that we recorded in like 2012 with a drum machine, like in Matt's bedroom. Where we ended up using them for the songs for the EP. But.
A couple of those recordings with guitar only, I actually used to learn. Like it was Ubiquitous, I think. Had
Emergence.
Disfigurement had one, but it was very, very shaky. I was like, man, I gotta...
Did Disfigurement have one?
Yeah. I remember...
That's
not Blake. I remember learning these songs, but...
He just transformed. He's a shapeshifter.
I don't know, I thought it looked like... Oh, he doesn't have that car anymore.
Every time I call you guys like, is this Blake?
Is that Blake? Oh.
No. But those tracks, when I was getting the drum parts together, I was like, man, this is awesome. It's like a cathartic feeling, having all these parts that I've wanted to apply to something finally coming out fully. and being used in a proper band setting was a really fulfilling thing, I think. So.
Oh yeah. But going back to it, the system in place is, if people don't know, which great, thank God if you don't, because it blows. Pre-selling tickets is a bitch. We have to sell X amount of tickets in X amount of time for X amount of dollars, and for most cases, if you don't sell the minimum requirement, you don't play. It doesn't matter if you sold 29.
Or you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
usually you don't get paid.
You don't get paid anyhow, usually, but
Usually it goes all towards
And-
touring bands, which is cool. I mean,
Yeah,
you get
no,
the money
completely
for
understand.
touring.
You know, I would totally be down giving any touring band the money because they fucking drove around. But the way you guys do it, and I mean, and I think it's why you guys are able to do a little bit more often than other bands, because like every time All the Beast comes to town, you guys are, have tickets on sale for that.
Oh, yeah,
you guys
sure.
just opened up Devastation on the Nation, which
Yeah.
that must have been fucking awesome.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think our thing is like with national shows, it's always been about like meeting bands and like getting to kind of like interact with them in a way too, because we'll do that at any cost. Like even if it's like selling tickets, we don't really care. We got to open for Origin our third show ever. So
Yeah.
Whoa.
yeah, that's basically how we viewed it the
That's-
whole time.
That's kind of like how Scorcher opened up for D-Side on their third show ever.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
awesome like doing that,
Mhm.
and that's why we're opening up for DRI too, is because we want the opportunity to, you
Mhm.
know, I want to meet Kurt because Kurt's like one of my biggest influences.
Exactly.
So but I mean, you know, you guys are able to do this, and you guys actually gave me the idea because I remember buying tickets from you guys before for Ultra Beast and whatnot. And you guys have told, and you guys are like, yeah, you can just like pay over PayPal. And I'm like, holy shit, why did I never think of that for? Fuck, I should have done that for D-Side. It was so perfect. And now I do it.
Mhm.
And I'm totally doing it for DRI right now too.
Yeah, and you can kind of turn your band into more of a business easily by using PayPal. Like you can ship out
Shit.
demos or CDs or shirts or
Think,
whatever and everything. Just
I think Eric Park gave us that idea. The PayPal.
the PayPal thing, I think was Richie
I thought it
actually,
was Eric.
but it could have been
Oh.
him too. I mean, hey, PayPal is common. Like if you don't have a PayPal, you are fucking up.
Yeah.
You
Totally.
do you
Well,
buy
and-
anything on the
And
internet?
now the thing
Yeah.
is just send it directly through Facebook. So
Yeah, which is
I kind of
We're-
hate that
we're
though.
archaic
At the
ones,
same
yeah.
time, because it sends it, and then there's a like waiting period on it, usually a day or two.
Mm.
PayPal doesn't always have that.
I want to
Shit.
say something real quick though about Humanoid. I guess Blake moved and we tried to do a band for a few years. Some other guys didn't really work, but we tried using Humanoid, and we didn't have the outro like that until like I guess Cesspool kind of came into its current formation. You know, the outro's got all the solos.
Mhm.
Used to just fade out on that riff and no leads or anything. And we were like, well, how can we make this a better song? Let everyone do a solo. And I mean, to me, it's like it ends the EP perfectly. Like just
Mhm.
fades out with
I like that I have an 8-time solo.
yeah, it fades out. But yeah, I mean,
Bass
I
solo,
wish
that
we-
was sick. Good
Oh,
job.
thanks.
Good fucking- I love
I
that
think
bass solo.
we actually got the idea for that from
Beyond Creation.
Yeah, the outro of Omnipresent Perception is like,
Of course, they
where that
tried
came
a little
from.
bit harder.
yeah, I mean
They're more technical than we are.
Yeah, they're-
That's kind of
they're
what
great.
we did with our newest song, like the ones like 6 of like about 7 song Brand Heretic. Like it has like every riff is different. We only repeat like the beginning riff that da. We will repeat that and the one that follows it. But like everything else for like the choruses are just like completely different riffs that we just want to just mesh out. Just because I like giving people a lot of different licks. I think that's like one of your guys' biggest strengths is that you guys are giving a lot of the people like a lot to process, and it's a great thing because it makes you sit and actually pay attention to the
Yeah.
bands.
Mhm.
Because don't get me wrong, I love fucking breakdowns and crazy ass riffs and
groove stuff.
groove shit that I can like fuck people up to in the pit, but like I just as much enjoy when I have to sit and pay attention to a band so that I don't miss something.
Mhm.
Because like if I'm talking to someone for like 5 minutes while y'all are playing a song, I could miss
You
something.
missed everything basically.
Yeah. Or even just like 30 seconds. I could have missed like a really badass like change in the song that I would have been like, holy shit, that was
Yeah.
dope. You know, so I've always been a fan of bands that are able to keep the attention of the people, and you guys do that really well. Whenever I see you guys play, there's hardly any chitter chatter amongst people. Like,
That's cool.
There's hardly like.
That's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
It's great. I mean, so like, and then especially whenever you guys have played new songs, like for the first time, like everyone's like, oh shit, and then
New
like,
song.
we're gonna try to lay low and play new stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of chill because we've revealed like
Half
over
of
half
it
of
was-
the whole
yes,
new album
yes,
already.
okay.
So
the rest of the album we're just gonna keep under wraps.
and it's actually like really cool seeing how, like you said earlier, like not to toot our own horn on this, but like how local staple kind of a thing we've become is like it's interesting seeing the progression because when we first started, a lot of people were like, the fuck, like there'd be people just sitting and stuff, just kind of like not too many people or whatever. But now there's pits, and it's like I enjoy seeing the pits happen because it's like I know I'm trying to give it 100% every time.
It makes me like enjoy it and get into it more.
Definitely.
It fires me up. Not that I'm not gonna like. I'm not one to really like beg for a pit. Like be like,
yeah.
let me see a circle pit.
We don't have the thing is we don't have any cards like that.
I did.
Or you got the guys playing at Reno's, like opening Reno's, and they're like, all right,
See a wall of
I
death.
see you guys speed on that side, and the song starts, you go through, and it's like, dude, come on, like, that ain't happening. I know we fucking did.
Yeah.
We actually saw that. I won't say but there was a show of band tried.
I can't even remember the name. Honestly.
I remember the name. I'm not gonna say it. But,
Yeah. Tell me
the
later.
guy in the audience was like, he's just like, not gonna happen.
Oh,
Not gonna happen.
The opposite.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna
It's
happen.
better when there's like one, like, there's like a crowd of 4 people, and the one guy's like really hyped up. He's like, and then everyone's like,
he's
what the
dropped
fuck, dude?
before the show.
What are you doing?
He pre-gamed a little hard.
Like I've always kind of kept it simple. Like when we first started doing shows, I feel like everyone should do this if you're a new band trying out, and especially if you're like always playing first. I had the SOD cover was always just a really powerful song. I just feel like you already know what's up. I don't even say anything, and then like it just kind of happened. And now with Branded, we have that like little time where I just say stomp that shit, and it works. Especially when we played Suicide Awareness, and we were like the next last band playing, and I think we played the exact same time as Rapid Face. I was really mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That sucks.
completely missed your set because I was so mad.
That's
But
all good, man. That's good timing right there.
yeah, it's always the worst.
The show ran a little late, I think. So
Yeah, it did because I think the first band on top was like 45 minutes late to start.
shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a train wreck because you had to take all their gear up to the top, like up the stairs.
Dude,
and
going
shit.
up those
we've done
stairs
that.
is like.
They need like Wixen needs elevator.
They do.
Don't know how you can do it, but do it.
Dude, Matt, pull it off.
With the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me, and I was like, oh shit.
No,
you mean Matt.
I'm sorry,
Don't
Matt.
build an elevator.
Elevator.
So
Elevator.
So I was like,
Elevator, motherfucker. Like,
Build
like,
it.
wow, what do you
I don't know how to build one.
We know your specialty is elevators.
Alright.
Jesus. Yeah, Matt Atkins, hook it up.
So I definitely wanted to get into your influence. I think you've already listed some of them.
Yeah.
But I
It's
guess
changed over time though. Like that's the funny thing. It's not even that we've strayed away from the old influences. It's just we've added more.
that's great.
So
They
like
definitely like add more brutal depth.
I would say brutal death because
Especially with
yeah.
the drumming.
I got
Yeah.
into like Defeated Sanity and Discord and Brodequin and Distant Tomb obviously played a big role.
Gravity Blast on the next release.
Gravity Blasts are coming. They're actually they're not few and far between, but they're placed correctly. So you'll
They're
appreciate them.
Well, and what I think is cool is that he brings in like the brutal death aspect of his drumming, which is something that I guess isn't found in a lot of bands that are like our style. Because
technical,
we're like melodical.
Melodical.
I've been up since like 6:30 in the morning. Okay. Melodic, whatever you want to call it, death metal or whatever.
'Cause it's
that's like something that I
It's
think
just
is
death metal,
like
yeah.
pretty cool.
As
to
much
have.
as like people say we're like technical, we personally don't view ourselves as like
I don't think
the most
we like
technical band. I guess we kind of
we don't corner ourselves with one style.
we're
Exactly.
influenced.
You
We're,
shouldn't.
we're influenced by technical death metal, but we take that influence and try to write good music still. And try to write
Yeah.
good songs. we don't want it to just be like, oh, look how fast we can play. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
there's bands that are
there's no
just that,
substance.
and that's but they are definitely in that like corner
Exactly.
of they just play technical death metal. There's a vast, majority of our influences are actually very different from each other. Like Vehemence is probably one of the bigger influences overall
Yeah,
in terms of
definitely.
like closeness of sound. Like it's
Yeah.
very
They were
melodic
huge for
with
us.
brutality and some intensity that you wouldn't find in like At the Gates, but it's like got melodic aspects and the technical stuff like kind of changes from band to band. Like Origin
Yeah.
is very different from Psychroptic, but we take influence from both.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
the brutal death stuff, it's honestly more of the progressive brutal death. It's not like we're taking Devourment influence. We're taking like Defeated
Yeah.
Sanity and
We don't-
Desecrate.
we don't-
You got me
Slam.
into Defeated Sanity.
We don't,
love
we don't
them.
really slam,
We do not. There's like a
We
few
have
like
some like
hard
kind of
beatdown
chunky,
stuff
groovy
sometimes
stuff,
like
but it just wouldn't really fit our music. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, but it's great to take
Nothing
influences
against
from a lot of different areas. I mean, I'm in a thrash band, but like most of my vocal influences come from crossover, like Billy Milano, Kurt, like
same ballpark kind of.
Yeah, I don't like writing like 30-second songs. I'll leave it to Beer Break to do that. But-
I understand it.
Because then I have to talk a lot of shit, like in between songs to make it fit
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Those guys are pretty fun though.
They're great.
yeah, it's fun live.
We played we played a show with them. It was a house party last year, and I love telling this story because at this point they never played venue shows. They were around for like 2 or 3 years, just playing random house parties or like last minute gigs. They played at CD Warehouse like 2 days notice, and just some crazy shit. And like I'm like, yo, y'all need to like come to play venue shows because after we played that house party together in Cedar Hill, I'm like, fuck, I'm bringing y'all around. So I told Joseph like, hey, listen to me, get these motherfuckers on shows because Delton's an animal and he's gonna throw beers at the wall and shove them after every song.
Yeah, I think
They're entertaining.
Uh,
They're not just a band.
Rapid Face played with them at Dirty 30, and they walked up on stage with like a cooler with beer in it. They're just chugging beers they brought in, like.
Dude, they give no fucks.
And
But they're more than a band. They're a band plus comedy.
It was entertaining.
Oh yeah, they
for
are.
sure. Yeah.
Speaking of Beer Break, real quick, we're just gonna promote the house party coming here July 6th at the Casa. It's gonna be Release the Fallen, Beer Break, KTCM, and Combat. And it's all going to take place in that fucking little one-door garage that you all know and love dearly. $5 gets you in, BYOB. Let's have some fun. Let's fuck shit up. The cops aren't going to get called this time, I promise.
Nice.
If they do, fuck them up anyway. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think the reason why the cops were called the last time was because it was the night before Easter. Even though it was a Saturday night, it was the night before Easter. And it kind of dragged on a
All
little
the
bit.
kids are sleeping. They want to get up and hunt Easter eggs. Like
Yeah.
People are trying
the
to
Easter
church.
Bunny is trying to hide eggs, and he can't
Because he's in the mosh pit to his Cyrax. But yeah, come on out. Let's have a great time. Another thing I really want to get in with you guys. I definitely want to find like what the future plans are for the band probably for this year. You guys did talk about an album. Definitely, if you can reveal any of that to us, like release dates, who you're working with.
Release date isn't set, but we're shooting for like
Hopefully by the end of the
the
year.
end of the year. Yeah, man. Like
Early
it's-
next year. After
We want to get in that 2-year window of like releases because it's keeping the interest relevant or whatever.
Yeah.
So like the EP came out in August of 2016. We're gonna shoot for like maybe September, October, having it done recorded, and then see how we're gonna put it out with what art,
Yeah.
You
that
know
all that
who,
stuff.
who are you working with? Who's going to mix it and master it?
We have no real set
Kind of have
producers,
some
honestly.
people in mind, but
Yeah.
no one really.
We're also at the
so-
stage where we're still trying to get last few songs ready, and they'll
Yeah,
they'll
we
be
still
ready
have
in a
to
short amount of
rehearse.
time because
Yeah.
they've been sitting and they're just waiting to be released. But like, I have to get drum parts together for 2 or 3 more songs, I think, and then I'm ready to go record. And then
There's a potential label interested. I won't reveal details.
we have to shop it around. That's
We have
the
to
thing.
shop around.
Yeah.
But there is one offer kind of on the table.
That's why it'll be kind of a small waiting period if we don't just like put it out ourselves
Yeah.
at first.
It's always good to shop around because we have a lot of really good people that do a lot of really good mixing and masterings. Irving is one that a lot of people like going
Yeah,
to.
we recorded the
He
EP
did the
with
EP with him. Yeah.
Well, we did the drums with Gary Brents.
We intended on doing all the recording with Gary at first, and then I had the drums done for a while. We did vocals. I think we kept the vocals we recorded with Gary, right?
We kept the drums
vocals
and
and
vocals.
drums.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything like about the process or like working with him. It was just we weren't finding the right tone. We just figured we'll give Irving a shot. Like have him do half of it. It's
Yeah.
not totally abnormal.
It set the
abnormal for bands to do that.
release back almost a year though.
Yeah, I did set it back about a year. So
we had a good release show with Dead Rising.
I don't think we would have been as ready for
Yeah,
this
so-
album if we had put it out in 2015 though. Like the EP would have sat there for 3 years and we wouldn't have put anything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
was really hard.
Yeah.
And it had time to like, in a way, it had time to kind of mature and like the guitar parts got tighter over time. So like,
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
yeah,
And I agree with the 2-year release thing, like within or around. I'm a big proponent of it. Like, I just because I try to count our little shitty 4-song demo that you can pull up on YouTube as a release because it technically was like a 50 CD limited thing that we did. So I because you do want to keep it relevant. You definitely want to. You don't want to be in the trap where you're playing the same songs over and over and over and over and over again.
To the same people.
over and over again at the same venues over and over and over and over
Well,
again.
yeah, that's
you
one
have
thing.
something to pedal as well.
Something
like,
we are doing out of. I'm sorry.
no, that was my whole point.
Yeah, I was gonna say future plans for the year. We are going out of town to Oklahoma,
Tulsa hitting that August
August
18th,
with I Am Destruction
and Center Disease.
Center Disease.
Oh
and
shit!
It's gonna be
there's
nuts.
another.
I actually
Tulsa
hope
band.
a few Dallas people come.
I fucking love Greg. Greg is my fucking buddy.
Greg Duke from Center Disease.
Dude is so nice.
Yeah.
Always been really
Yeah,
cool with me
it'll
at
be
shows.
it'll be a good fucking time. It's really our first time going out
Out of state entirely.
Well, out of town.
Well, I mean, Denton is not
That's
really out of
doesn't
town.
count. That's
guess.
kind of
Doesn't count.
And that was like
Anything
2 years
within
ago.
Texas.
I think we played like a year or two ago. We played like a Silence release show at Reno's, and the next day, that Sunday, we played with Alter Beast at Tomcats, like in Fort Worth, and I was like, yeah, we're a little 2-day Texas tour.
I actually
Metroplex tour.
We went back home and slept in our own beds.
Man, I forgot about that. I forgot that was like a back-to-back day show thing. Like,
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while though.
I think that was.
we need to do like more Weekend Warrior stuff where we kind of like. We should set up a show around that Oklahoma date actually, and like get something here. And I don't know.
We're on the way.
Yeah.
On the way somewhere.
I always what I would like to do, and I don't know, maybe give me an idea that you guys could press along, because I was talking to my guys about it, because I haven't really kept the secret that I plan on wanting to record Scorch's First Full Length around this time of year, and what I would like to do is have it recorded before our DRI show, and then we release it. It gets master released like at the beginning of the year. We do a CD release show. We try to, bump up the finances, and then what we wanted to do is we wanted to do like a week tour. So we would like go to maybe like Houston, Austin, hit some places up in Oklahoma.
You should hit Shreveport.
Shreveport, I heard Shreveport's really good. Yeah, like just like drive, like actually just like hit like a couple of the neighboring states, and then just come back and in that little week tour off here, like at Reno's or Tomcats or whatever. I don't know.
I'd be tired.
Yeah, for sure. But like, hey, I've always that's like what I've always wanted to do. That when I started, I was like, I just want to like just play for other people.
Yeah,
like,
just travel and do it. Like,
Yeah.
We'll be doing that hopefully next year.
yeah, we're planning well ahead. Like next year is going to be the year where we really hit it.
We're
I
gonna
think.
try to record the album this year, get it out, and play Oklahoma. But besides that, kind of just
working on us.
trying to get the album
It's
finished.
fine.
It's almost finished
It's
And
just like one thing.
as far as being written goes. I mean, it's written. It's actually written.
It's like the thing with the next album after this one is we're already gonna be hitting the ground running with it. Like as soon as the full length is out, we're probably already gonna be working on new material for the next album.
Oh, me and Blake already have.
Yeah, exactly. They already
A ton
have
of stuff.
stuff that's not going on this
I
next
already
album.
have like
They're
4
lying.
or 5 songs.
I write everything.
Mine.
I write all the music. I know what you're talking about.
I write it all in Guitar Pro and they play it.
I don't really write much, but
No, yeah, I don't write anything besides drums.
I mean, I add shit, my own bass lines, but
You write lyrics sometimes.
I wrote a little bit of. I wrote the outro to the Humanoid. Not that that was like a hard riff. It's a total Nile rip-off.
But one thing that I think you guys also do really well compared to other bands. I mean, a lot of bands here have it, but I think the level of chemistry you guys have is kind of hard,
rare.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, obviously, like two brothers. I mean, you guys always have time to always like work with each other. You guys,
used to.
No, but like it's a really good attitude.
Yeah.
And then we've been playing with Blake for a long time
Since we
too.
started.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really I wouldn't want to play with any. Well, I mean, I do play in other bands, but
You're a beast in all of them.
Oh, thanks. But I mean, I was gonna say I wouldn't want to play with any other guitar players, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Like as far as Cesspool.
As far as Cesspool goes, and then we
Sure.
found
That's
Brennan,
like your main one. It's your baby.
and we found Brennan, and everything clicked since then. Like it was like magic, you know. Like all the other drummers we had, you know, we had some people that were like, oh, this dude's pretty good, but you know, one drummer he didn't even know the name of the band or the name of the songs, and I'm like,
Good God.
I think he's gone.
That happens, man. I remember back when we were first, you know, becoming a thing, we were still trying to find members when it was just me and Alberto at the time. We were trying to find other guitar players. Anthony had just come on as our bassist at that point. I remember Alberto was jamming with a guitarist, and he just went over to his place to jam. And so I didn't know what happened, but like apparently this guy was like a pseudo, like ego inflated guy who's like, I want to play something extremely new and no one's ever heard of before. And so when he goes
dipshit.
That's hard to do.
yeah,
Everything's been done.
Yeah, it's like practically impossible.
yeah, it is. And like he was
I'll
just
show
being,
you.
he was just like really
You don't know about
being
my
like
solo
really
album.
snarky and all this. It was kind of like if like Soy Erna was like reincarnated as a fucking local person.
Oh, good lord, no.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
kind of
that.
that
I'm doing the best I ever.
no.
Godsmack sucks.
Yeah. I used to be a fan of them when I was like 12. That was
Yeah,
12.
I mean, you were 12.
You're 12. I like Disturbed when I was 12. So.
Same.
So if they both did a tour, would y'all go? And,
Back in time.
Disturbed?
No, I'm talking about now. Godsmack,
Dude, I'm
Disturbed.
like
Would y'all
Disturbed?
Would y'all go? Would y'all go?
I will say, and I'll probably catch fire for it. This is probably the first one I'm ever going to admit it. I still like the first album. And I don't love it.
Which one?
Disturbed. Get down with the
It's dude, they were pretty good and like not one of the like shittier popular bands, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Nickelback was awful.
Or like 3 Days Grace.
Yeah.
Nickelback and
3 Days Grace both eat shit. Like
But Disturbed, like that first album, they had like they had like a symbiance of like brutality in that.
they actually had like an image that no one else really did at the time too. Like
Yep.
I think they were a bit heavier than some of the more mainstream bands. They weren't in the Korn and Slipknot league, but they were like in a more mainstream, like hard, heavy rock kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
not terrible.
And then it kind of flaked out.
Then it was just like, we're a gimmick.
Yeah. You know what? The best thing you find on YouTube is like a compilation of people trying to karaoke that song, and everyone captures the ooh-wah part, and everybody fucks it up. It's like it's like 10 minutes.
You remember the one video where it's like the greatest hit of the
Oh, it's just a guy being like,
he's just
What the fuck?
We'll show it to you. He's
Oh my
just
god.
like, and he looks just like him. He's this bald dude that.
even
Just
has a
going
little
like-
like chin.
I mean, he's
So,
doing.
like, whatever
whatever
He's
those
doing
are.
like Disturbed songs, not saying the words. He's just like
Jesus Christ. I love the internet, dude. I love it, especially now.
one hit, one never-ending song.
We got him started on a joke. Here we go.
I'll stop. I got excited.
No, it's great because I'm a really big fan, especially of like the YouTube community of metal. There's like some like really big channels that kind of like do like these like weird parodies. Like I'm a really big fan of that fucking guy. What's his name? Like Stevie T or some shit. I don't know.
Steve Terberry.
Yeah, that guy's. Some of his videos are pretty cool. Like that.
That sounds familiar. I can't put a face to it.
Dude,
If
he
you
just
saw him, you would know.
he put.
Is that the guy who plays the guitar? And
Yeah, actually.
glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually I fairly recently put out a video Because like he does like how to play blank metal, like just like film with blank for genre. He do one for death metal. And like I think like a month and a half later, he actually released like a parody death metal song, like "Wipe Your Ass with
he
Sandpaper."
like released a whole album of like parody songs. I think he was like signed to some record label. I don't remember.
Holy shit! Really? Damn, I didn't know that.
Underrated records.
No, it was like
Not brutal enough.
Rise Records or something like that.
Shout out to Underrated Records in
Dude, so-
Indonesia.
I gotta ask, does Skull Archer ever get those offers from like these dudes over in India? Really like, hi,
India.
item, so whatever. We're in
Indonesia. Big
Yeah.
difference.
Well, anyway, there's like this dude messaged Reviled once. He's like, I am whatever from
So and so from
Underrated Records, and we're like, oh yeah, sounds good shit.
We have gotten offers to be on magazines, like me do an interview, talk about our beginnings and all that. And actually, believe it or not, and I don't know why, because if you ask my honest opinion, I hate it. But a lot of people really like our demo. It's like, you know, and especially people really like the third song, Exile by Arrows. And I get a lot of messages saying, hey, I'm with this magazine, I really like Exile by Arrows, I want to put it on a compilation CD, I want to do an interview with you, and it'll be documented in the magazine. Kind of like what Ernie did when, like from Kimikos recently, where he kind of did like an interview and like Kimikos like a page on that magazine.
I think I saw that.
They wanted to do that with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them no. And the reason why I told them no is because, one, that is not the best sculpture to put out. And I don't want that to be the representation of us.
Yeah.
No. Secondly, I know we can do better. I have a brand new lineup, and I feel like that lineup is the best lineup we've ever had. And I want, and if I want to put something on a magazine, and I want people to record it, I want it to be from that lineup, and we record full length.
That makes sense.
And, you know, thirdly, I feel like, you know, this one is probably just more of a kick in my own ass. I feel like we have a lot more to prove to people. I feel like Skull Archers, don't get me wrong, I say Skull Archer sucks. It's a great fucking running gimmick. I love saying we suck. It's great. I fucking love it. I'm glad people jump on the bandwagon with it. But I genuinely think that the group of guys that I have right now, with what we're doing, I think we're pretty good. But I feel like I want to be at the next level before I start putting us out there like that. So it's just more. It's kind of like if you guys watched the Incinerator episode when I had them on. It was Ben and Juan, and we haven't heard a whole lot from Incinerator in a while. Last time they played a show was in October when Lich King came to town.
Oh, that was a good show.
Oh my god. Best pit I've ever been, no doubt.
I think I got in the pit. I was drunk.
Was that what's in?
I think I spilled a beer on something.
It was
Oops.
Lich King, Hidden Instinct, which was a thrash band from Australia.
Valdivera played.
Yeah.
That was before I was jamming.
Kimikos, Incinerator, it was sick.
Kimikos was there?
Mm-hmm. They played after Valdivera.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that
You
because
played that show, right?
I didn't play that.
Oh,
That was
okay.
before I was jamming with
I
the
was-
dudes.
Okay.
I remember. I remember they played because I got elbowed by Alan in the forehead on accident. But but anyway, we haven't heard anything from them in a while ever since that show, and I was talking about it. And the thing is, they said they already have a new merch lineup. They have a lot of songs written. They're ready to do another album, and they're ready to start doing shows. But the thing is the reason why they said they haven't been doing anything in a while is because they want to make sure that what they do, what they bring out, and the merch they sell and everything else, everything that they do is the best that they can possibly do it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I agree with them, but you're not going to see me take a break from shows that long. Because we're new, I feel like we need to put ourselves out there more, especially since we are still kind of new. But I totally get that sentiment. And I want to make sure that I feel that way too, because I'm fucking grateful for the people who like my music, as you guys are grateful for people that enjoy your music. And,
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that those people are getting the absolute best thing they can from us.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like every band's on that wavelength.
Yeah. I
Here.
mean,
Yeah.
That's what.
There's definitely like an understanding that you have to either like put up or shut up with your music here. It's like, dude, you'll be able to tell like on a lineup, oh, these sick bands at the top, and then it's like, like they're not working as hard. That's all it is. Like everyone kind of has like a standard of working professionalism in a way here, even if they're just like local. They don't play out of town or anything. They just record good music and play locally. Like, there's definitely a level of professionalism to be maintained.
Yeah, and you definitely do see that on lineups. And I was kind of like really excited when we had that opening at like 11:30 for Suicide Awareness, because we played after Exploder and Silver Tongue Devil and Hood Rat, and that blew my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought that would never happen, but we took it in stride and we definitely belted that shit out as best we could. So I feel like we're definitely coming to. I definitely feel like we are slowly becoming a staple. I want to become a staple. I want to make sure that I want everyone to know that I'm for real, and that's just all. And that's all it comes down to. And that's why I also do this too, because I want to promote bands like you guys, bands that put out that are great, that have talented musicians. Because I mean, you guys alone, just not even looking at a band like people like just taking you guys apart. Like, Brennan, you're a great fucking drummer. Matt's a great fucking guitar player. I've heard singular compliment. I haven't heard any more singular compliments from a band besides you guys. When you talk about Cesspool, talk about Reviled, talk about Rapid Face. I'm always hearing how much of a beast of a bass player you are, and I fucking agree with that. How much of a beast of a drummer you are, and how much of a beast of a guitar player you are. That's what people talk about, and I want to one day have Scorcher be in that line. With having Jacob Shatowski, it's kind of already halfway there.
It definitely takes patience, and I mean, hard work can become a cliche, but you really do have to spend as much time as you possibly can on the music if you want it to be, successful or well received by other people.
Practice.
Because you can, like I was saying, you can tell when a band works harder if they don't. And I feel like it's almost our duty to kind of do our best with pushing ourselves to the next level at all times, whether it be not playing locally all the time or trying to write better music or become better musicians to write better music, that kind of thing. You have to kind of be invested in it wholeheartedly. So
I guess
we try to have.
I'll say I guess I don't really want any lineup changes really for this band really.
Oh man,
ever. I think the
that would be
lineup we
super
have is
depressing.
It's
I
think that we understand as a group that we have something kind of rare and that we can't let it go or just forget about it or get
There's not
impatient
really
with it.
anyone else I want
I definitely think
playing
you guys,
guitar or drums, in this band. And it's we all have a chemistry and we all I don't know, we've all become brothers kind of, so it's
I think
we
out
don't
of
wanna
all the bands that are
be awkward
still
with someone else.
unsigned, I feel like you guys have the greatest potential to be signed. Iron Destruction just got signed.
I'd say signing isn't our ultimate goal,
Of course
because
not,
the signing would be to kind of help with promotion and maybe reaching an audience you wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah.
You can play out of town and do all that stuff all the time, but if you're kind of just burning yourself out, your music might suffer, or
Or if you
don't have backing, if you don't have financial backing, your band could break down and you're kind of just fucked.
I mean, that's one thing.
If you have a label that's supporting you, that's what it's good for. But if you're putting in the work, they're just going to make
Should
sure that
help
you can put in the work, basically.
One thing I wanted to get into you guys with about is, and I kind of want to talk about this with some bands throughout the following weeks, and especially because you guys mentioned the Faceless earlier. You guys saw that video of Michael Keane, right?
It's honestly pretty sad.
It's a pretty rocky situation there, scenario.
It's really sad actually because that band was huge for me when I was in high school. And
even after that,
but especially when Planetary Duality came out, I was like, holy shit.
That was almost an album
Game-changing.
that kind of set a standard for bands in the modern realm.
For modern tech death.
For modern death metal, even generally, a lot of people knew the band and knew the songs and everything and took influence.
I guess Necrophagus came out and then the Faces came in and they were another band. Then Spawn and Possession, Origin were
it kind of became a worldwide thing after that. Necrophagus was the first one to really Decapitated, of course, had that.
As far as the Faceless goes, jokes aside, whatever, I really do hope that guy gets help.
I do too.
Completely.
Yeah.
He used to be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And I don't know Bryce too well, but I do know that he's a stellar guy.
I've known him for a few, actually, longer than these guys. So I mean, I can vouch for him, experiencing everything he did, and it's just so sad. in a vicarious sense, like
Yeah.
seeing it through someone else and their experience with that kind of a scenario. It's like kind of tragic.
Yeah, and I mean, but I know personally that Bryce is like a super chill guy. It's like when he's like, damn, I don't even know. Then you know something's up. So yeah, I really hope Michael does get the help he needs.
It's a very stressful thing for everyone he works with, his management, everything. But yeah, we can only hope he either rebounds or like.
I mean, I don't know.
Takes a break.
I don't know him
or
personally or know like the situation firsthand, but like I would say, kind of take a break from music.
That's what I'm
Get
doing.
He needs to work on himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a tour lined up and all that, and it's just like.
It's just like it's kind of just gonna leave us all wondering like how is he gonna pull this tour off? Like
yeah. I mean, drugs totally alter who a person is.
I mean,
Like,
you have some people that just can belt it out, like Mustaine back in the day, like with fucking so far so good, so what, like that shit, just straight up, you know, would just like do
heroin and
I think
crack and
that
shit.
entire tour that he did in Europe when they were touring that album in Europe, he was just gone. And
that takes a different kind of person.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
does,
he
yeah.
still would kill it. Like he's all strung out on heroin.
I know
He's,
for,
like, solos. I'm like, dude, what?
For the first Megadeth album, they spent half the money.
Recording budget on drugs.
Yeah, they spent half it on drugs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
What the
kinda-
album still fucking kills.
That's
It does. It's
like-
slays,
That's
dude.
kind of badass, actually. They spent half of it on drugs and still like.
Or like more than half. They
Don't do drugs though.
use like 2/3.
Yeah, drugs bad. Don't do it. Like everything's okay.
Do the right ones.
Everything's okay. Like I'm a proponent of everything is okay in moderation. As long as
Yeah,
you-
well,
I wouldn't
some
say for
things.
everything.
Not everything.
Not everything.
Some things, yeah.
Prostitution.
Oh well, no.
That's not drugs.
It's
That's a
it's
whole
a
different
vice. It's a vice. It can be. I mean, you can think of anything like that though.
Honestly, buying prostitutes is also a vice too. Like not just the act of prostitute itself, because I spray a lot of motels in like the Metroplex, you know, for my job, and like I see the same fucking maybe like 4 or 5 people, just fucking every fucking time I'm going to these motels, just buying the same women. It's just like Jesus Christ, man, your life's like fucking ditch end.
Gross, dude.
Yeah, it's really depressing. But we're gonna get away from that shit. I'm gonna.
Yeah. That's about prostitutes and drugs. Back to music.
I want to get out. I want to close this out by trying to what are the next show upcoming shows you guys have that you guys would like to?
The first one, I think our next one is Nathan's birthday show.
Yeah.
Please go to that one.
July 21st. It's a
3
Saturday, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
with
I
Crop
did.
Dust, Silver Tongue, and
Apophis.
Apophis. Ooh,
That's
Apophis has become really stellar with the new lineup and everything that they
I've
have.
never seen them.
It's cool
Green
seeing
Place
bands
Basin
come
now.
off of like that, like
Yeah.
you know, because they are
Like
pretty new.
Combat, for example.
Yeah, like Reed is playing bass in Apophis now.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's always wanted to play in black metal band, so he's really excited. But yeah,
But then after that, I think.
Tulsa. Is
Tulsa.
Tulsa,
That was in
yeah.
Macabre.
Oh, yeah.
The one with Macabre and
Well, that hasn't been
Hellman.
announced yet, but. So.
Woo, first time ever.
Nobody said when it is.
It's in September at Tomcats, or.
You just said.
Well, okay.
Oh, was I not supposed to do that?
I was
I
like-
don't know.
Yeah,
That's not that.
By the way, Macabre's awesome. We got
Their new album, go pick
stories
that
with
shit
the-
up.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
was
partied
listening to
with
it on
them.
my own
We partied with Macabre back in like 2015 or
Yeah, our
second
second
show.
show.
second show ever, we hopped on and those guys were.
And then we got drunk till like 5 or 6 in the morning.
Dude, I went to school the next day, and I was dead as fuck. But I was.
I
like,
think I had work the next day.
I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Dude.
Fuck this
Good
out for
friends,
work,
man.
man. Had a great time. Guys, thank you for coming on. I greatly appreciate
Yeah,
it.
dude.
It's always cool to have you guys on.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
This has been DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex. Next episode, it marks the 50th episode of the podcast. There's going to be no special guests. It's just going to be me. I'm going to be unveiling all my future plans that I have for the podcast and what I plan on doing with the name DFW Metal Mayhem in the future. So don't miss that episode next week.
Bands tonight for a good cause. Helping our buddy roasting out. Hopefully things working out. So anyways, let's keep those positive vibes rolling. This next one, we're gonna change it up for you guys tonight. This is Eradication of the Subservient.